Here we are. Villianous. Wednesday. Perfectly Wretched. Week 3 with Mother Gothel. This is, in my opinion, the worst board in Disney Villianous to this day. I have my reasons. We'll go over it. But right off the bat, you need 10 trust at the start of your turn to win. That sounds so easy, doesn't it? At the end of each turn, Rapunzel will move one space closer to Corona. Speaking of Corona, let's go over the locations. Starting with Rapunzel's Tower, the Snuggly Duckling, the Forest, and Corona. So you're going to need a bunch of power because you have a bunch of cards you're going to need to play. We'll start with the allies. You have the ability to play out a Royal Guard. Now, a Royal Guard can be played to any location, and on your turn, if you move him, you can move an ally with him. Which sounds great. And then at the end of the turn, Rapunzel will just go right back to where she was. Not the best thing ever, but useful in a cinch. So at the end of your turn, you're losing a trust while she's there. So you're going to want to play a Stabbington Brother to this location. When you play a Stabbington Brother, she'll fly all the way back over to the tower for you to end your turn and slide over. Now, while she's at this location or the next, the Snuggly Duckling or the Forest, she does not force you to lose trust. You only lose trust at the end of your turn if she's at Corona. So, 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns later, she's back. So you play the other Stabbington Brother and you jump her all the way over. It's the best thing you can do. Now, there's other items you can play. Let's say she's at the Snuggly Duckling, okay? You can play the Brush. When Hairbrush is played or moved to Rapunzel's location, gain a trust. So let's say, goes here. You gain a trust. End of your turn, she moves over here. You start your turn, first thing you're going to do, move the Brush. Now, you cannot have Rapunzel over here, end the turn, and have her move over. That doesn't work. You have to move the Brush to her location, not her to the Brush's location. Now, there's also a lot of allies that can be played against you. So I'm just going to pull out Flynn Rider. That is not Flynn Rider. Flynn Rider. And let's put him here. Okay? When he's in play, Mother Gothel loses 2 trust. When you take him out, though, you gain 2 trust. Okay? Now, while he's there, you can play the Crown. When a hero is defeated at this location, either gain 2 power or discard the Crown to gain 1 trust. So let's play this here to Corona. But one of those Stabbington Brothers, he needs some help. We're going to give him a knife. When the knife is played, attach it to an ally. That ally gets +2 strength. And when that ally is used to defeat Rapunzel, gain a trust. So let's give him to this one. So he's going to take out, sorry, not that one. This one is going to take out Flynn Rider. So you get your 2 trust back. Then at the end of the turn, that's going to move over here. And then in the following turn, you're going to defeat Rapunzel. Now, there's a fun thing about Rapunzel. So both of those, I got a trust because of the Crown. The thing about Rapunzel, if she is defeated in a vanquish, she doesn't get discarded. That would kind of ruin the game. She goes back here. Since we were talking about allies, if your opponent plays Pascal to the tower, if you do any actions to move Rapunzel to the tower, she instantly moves over to the Snuggly Duckling. Because reasons. Now, there's a lot of other actions, effects that you can play. Let's get rid of Pascal for this one. And we'll move her to the tower. you can play Let Down Your Hair. If Rapunzel is at Rapunzel's tower, gain a trust. Otherwise, move Rapunzel to 2 locations from Corona, up to 2 locations. So if she's at Corona, you can move her to the Snuggly Duckling. If she's in the forest, you can move her to the forest, or to the tower. If she's at the Snuggly Duckling, you can also move her to the tower. But you do not lose trust for moving her that way. If you play Mother Knows Best, at the end of this turn, do not move Rapunzel, so she gets to stay there at the end of the turn. If for some reason you've played this while she's at Corona, she does still lose you do still lose the trust. You can play I Love You Most. If Mother Gothel and Rapunzel are at the same location, gain 1 trust. If Mother Gothel and Rapunzel are at Rapunzel's tower, gain an extra. So you want to get those into your hand and manipulate it so you can make sure that you get to play this while she's still at the tower. That's 2 trust right there. And then the following turn, she just runs away again. Your opponent can pull out Floating Lights. Move Rapunzel to Corona. Just instantly. Making everything you just worked towards useless. With all the effect cards and ally cards and item cards that you kind of need to keep playing, you're going to be putting them in your discard. So play What Once Was Mine. You get to choose a card from your discard and just put it right back in your hand. It's a wonderful card, and there's only a couple of them in the deck. I think that one could have used a couple more copies. If you're having a lot of trouble and you can't seem to get Rapunzel out of Corona, you can play Now I'm the Bad Guy. Costs nothing, and you can move Rapunzel right to the tower, but you lose a trust. So you better have that trust available to pay for it. And with other allies in play, like Pascal, or the King and Queen. If you still have, characters such as the Riders or Stabbington Brothers, you can play Revenge. Perform a vanquish action. If you defeat a hero other than Rapunzel, gain a trust. There's only 2 of those. So there are a bunch of ways to get trust. So as you can see, you need 10 trust. It doesn't sound like a lot, but Rapunzel will get away from you if you're not playing the cards right. Now, and Stabbington Brothers will only move her back to the tower the turn they're played. If they're not banished and you can't get them back into play, they can't keep using that ability. So you need to keep moving her around, using the brush to get as much little bit of trust that you can. I have played this character against 2 opponents, my wife and my brother. They didn't fate me. I couldn't win. So they kept fating each other and worrying about each other, but this deck did not help in the slightest. So we're going to see what happens when I play by myself with a fate die. So wish me luck. That video is going to be coming up soon. Don't forget to leave likes, comments, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys real soon.